it is not a really efficient way to play to be so reliant on a singular player to create so much.
It depends.
It's very rare that it works that way. Now,
No,
Brunson, you can look at Brunson individually. He's been fantastic. But there's this thing where, like, he almost does too much. I just don't think there's enough of those pieces. And that's why I wasn't as high on the Cat trade as many others were. Because, yeah, okay, you'll maybe win more regular season games or whatever, but you're still – I'm not going to war with him thinking I'm going to win a series. He can play great couple games. He's not a 6-7 consecutive games in a row where he's going to get you where you need to go. I've known what you say before you started talking.
Yeah.
I'm just, Cat is not the answer. That's my point.
You don't like Cat.
And it's proof. What
is proof? Because they have six guys that can play. They have four guys. The Knicks are really throwback into where it's like Brunson, it's Brunson or shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and but that's a lot of people are looking at this and have made the comment and you know, are the Knicks better when Brunson's on the sideline?
The numbers say yes.
Because again, and that's why again, not everybody's going to be smart enough to do this, but what I think Austin's saying is to a degree, and what I'm saying outright is this: is that it is not a really efficient way to play to be so reliant on a singular player to create so much.
It depends.
It's very rare that it works that way. Now, Brunson, you can look at Brunson individually. He's been fantastic. But there's this thing where, like, he almost does too much. He almost eats too much clock with what he's doing, and he's essentially exhausting himself.
But what I wanted to get to was it's not so much that they're better when the numbers show that they are better when he's off, but it's not offense. It's not so much offense. You know, the offensive splits are, you know, it's slightly better than when he's off. It's the defense.
Yeah.
And again, I said this when Juan was on the show, you know, for the people we like, we hide the facts and we talk about the good stuff. But Brunson is a really bad defender. You know what I mean? They're plus just in this series alone, they're plus 16 with him off the court. And, you know, they hunt him on every single possession that he's in the game, and it's multiple things. It's getting him in foul trouble the early games in the series. It was getting him in foul trouble. And then also, you know, it's tiring him out and things like that. And he's so small. And they're getting him on the switches, and it creates these unique situations because their team is flawed already. Because, you know, you started the series, you put Cat at center, okay, but Mitchell Robinson, as he's getting back and more healthy, then you put him at center and put Cat at the 4. The problem with that is Cat is better offensively at the 5. But defensively, he can't protect the rim. Mitchell is a rim protector and grab every damn near offensive rebound he is in his presence, but he's a terrible offensive player and a free throw shooter. They're a flawed team in that way. And then when you have Brunson in at the 1 and Cat at the 5, you can cancel Christmas defensively, especially for a team like the Pacers. You know, so it's so moving forward. If you're the general manager, if you're the front office, I really do think you're going to have to make a decision, and you're not going to move Brunson. Brunson sells the tickets, he scores the points, he does that, right? So it's either you move. People are going to say you move Cat. I don't think you move Cat either. I think the answer is you have to move Mitch for a 4 that can shoot and protect the rim, because Denver Nuggets have the same problem that the New York Knicks have. They have a 5 that can't protect the rim, and a point guard that gets hunted on defense. What do they have? They have an Aaron Gordon who rebounds and protects the paint at the 4 position. But he also can hit free throws. He also can shoot threes. He can make plays offensively. You know what I mean? So that is the answer for the Knicks. But everybody is going to point to, you know, the Cat of Brunson.
But, I mean, I think you could ask yourself in this particular series, would they be better off with Hartenstein?
No.
I think they would.
No, absolutely not. Number one, you can't play Hartenstein and Mitchell. So you're canceling out.
No, I agree with the incompatibility of Mitchell. I don't like him.
But Mitchell was there.
That's fine. I mean,
So
I'm
even
saying,
in this scenario, he's there because he was on the team.
Yeah, well, I mean, he might be out of the rotation by now. I don't know. I'm not answering that question. I'm just saying I think that you might be better served with Hartenstein instead of Cat.
No, because then you have the Cat is their best shooter, period, on the team, even with Brunson. Just you're looking at the splits, you're looking at the percentages, you're looking at all of that. So, like, offensively, Cat helps them so much. Like, Hartenstein is not having a 20-point fourth quarter and winning a game for you in the series, ever. Like, that's never happening. Hartenstein is consistent in what he does. He's a pick and roller, and he's going to hit the floater. And, yes, he will hold up at the rim defensively, much better than Cat can ever, dream of. But he's not fucking whatever, Manute Bol, Wemby. He's not even in Gobert to that degree. But, it is it's a give and take, but Hartenstein wouldn't be the answer. It would have to be someone else, like Miles Turner.
I'm not saying the complete answer. I just think that they might just be better with him than they are with Cat.
No,
and if they lose if they lose this series, who gives a flying shit about 1 fourth quarter and 20 points?
Well, if they lose the series, you still got much farther with Cat than you did with Hartenstein in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Hartenstein, they weren't sniffing the Eastern Conference Finals.
I don't know. I
so
really
you make the Cat move.
I know why you made the Cat
You're
move.
in the Eastern Conference
and you
Finals.
can say that and great
beat Boston Celtics.
Yeah, I mean
You know what
great,
I mean?
but you ain't in the final. You ain't the one in.
Yeah, but you're better.
All right.
We in this to get better, right?
No, you're in it to win. You're in it to win.
You're in it to get better.
No, you're in it to win. That's
no, if you're a team, you can't, everybody can't win.
Right, but that's why you're here.
You're here to get better and eventually win. You're not going to win. This is their first year together. You're not you can't just throw something together and say, "Here, go win," or you're a failure. Like they're a much better team than they were last year. Then you build. Okay, then
for
you say,
the reasons you highlighted, I don't think Cat is the right player for this team. That's my point.
And I think that Mitchell is not the best player for this team.
I don't
But
disagree with that
either way, I like for example, you can if you tell me you can get you could trade Cat for fucking Giannis or for Jokic or for I'm all ears. You trade Cat for whatever, for Wemby or something. Okay. So I like that. Let's throw the silliness out the door. But I'm talking about realistically, you're not moving Cat for anything better. And then if you're just talking about specifically the Hartenstein for Cat, Hartenstein is not a better piece for this team. Because the shooting that Cat provides is so much needed for the Knicks. Cat is the singular reason why they're a top 5 offensive team. You know what I mean? Like having a shooting big is so imperative for that team.
But the point that I'm making is the point that you made, that this is a team constructed around a weak defensive 1 and a weak defensive 5.
Yes.
That's fundamentally flawed. And if you're not willing to entertain moving on from one of those two things, you're just consigning yourself to this kind of high-level mediocrity.
You're not, because Denver Nuggets won a championship with a weak defensive 1 and a weak defensive 5. So it's just the way you construct your team. You can't have Mitchell Robinson there logging up the Aaron Gordon spot where he's nowhere near Aaron Gordon. Nowhere near Aaron Gordon. Let's find
And to be fair, nobody on the Knicks team is close to Jokic.
No, but that's okay. That's the Knicks' fault. But they're in the East. You can get to the finals without a Jokic in the East. You know what I mean? So Brunson is their 1. Is their 8-1. So it's either, do you believe Brunson can lead your team to the championship or not as the best player on the team? Jokic is the best player on the Denver team. Jalen Brunson is the best player on the Knicks team. If you don't believe Jalen Brunson is the guy to lead you to a championship, then you have to get rid of him. But so Cat is in the Murray spot, okay? And Murray is a guy who he'll go off a game or two. Some games he won't. He's bad on defense every game. But it's the pieces that you put around those two defensively, okay, that can make it work.
I just don't think there's enough of those pieces. And that's why I wasn't as high on the Cat trade as many others were. Because, yeah, okay, you'll maybe win more regular season games or whatever, but you're still – I'm not going to war with him thinking I'm going to win a series. He can play great couple games. He's not a 6-7 consecutive games in a row where he's going to get you where you need to go. And his defensive liability is there.
Who is?
None of
these role players or secondary stars are. Pascal Siakam has had many bad games in this playoff season. In this series, also, he had the 40-pointer.
Right. But his team's going to win the series
because of Halliburton, because of Neesmith, because of all the other guys. Right? You get what I'm saying?
I've known what you say before you started talking.
Yeah.
I'm just Cat is not the fucking answer. That's my point.
You don't like Cat,
and it's proof.
What is proof? Because they have six guys that can play. They have four guys that can play basketball. You got two guys that you overpaid for that is doing nothing for you offensively, and really they're underperforming defensively. In OG and the Brooklyn Nets guy who was fucking awesome with the Brooklyn Nets, and now with them he's like so. And he changed his fucking shot. We talked about that in the beginning of the year. Don't know why he changed his shot. So it's like we're looking at Cat, who has shown up and performed this series, but you're not looking at the other guys who's making more money than him. Okay, you know what I mean?
I'm fine looking at the whole thing. I'm just telling you that what we're seeing.
So it's OG
verifies. No, he's not. He's underperformed.
So OG's not the guy. Look, Mitchell's not the guy.
Look, we could bore the shit out of everybody by walking down the whole roster. Yeah. I'm just defending the point I made when the trade was made. He ain't the fucking guy.